Well, we have a very special guest with us this morning in the Channel 3 Cafe. His compositions have been performed by orchestras all over the world, from Prague to Iceland to our own Cleveland Orchestra. Composer Dr. Leslie Adams is here with us this morning. We're so glad that you could come in today.
Thanks, Kim. Good to be here.
You know, the American Composers Alliance says you're one of the leading African-American composers in the world. When you hear something like that, tell me how that makes you feel.
I say, wow. Anything that is the greatest in the world, it's a great challenge to live up to it. And of course, it's a value judgment that others have made, and I'm honored and also very challenged.
Yeah, what a nice compliment. Now, you have a new composition, Ecstasy of Love, and this week there was a reception and a performance, and also some members of your fan club were there as well. And there was a woman from the Cleveland Orchestra who plays the viola and a pianist who teaches at the Cleveland School of the Arts who played the piece. How rewarding is it to hear musicians play something that you composed?
Well, it's especially exciting the first time because up until that point, it's all in my mind. I'm working in the studio by myself and hearing it the way I think it's going to sound, but to actually hear it realized live is a thrilling experience.
And it sounds beautiful, it really does. What goes into, and I'm sure this is probably hard to put into words, but what goes into composing a piece like this?
Well, for myself, I had never composed a piece for viola and piano, and that was one consideration. The other is I love the sound of the viola. It is something that people describe as the difference between chicken, violin, and duck. Light meat and dark meat.
Right.
And the viola has such a rich, lovely, luscious tone, and it's a little lower than the violin. And yet it can go high, but it's like the mezzo-soprano as opposed to soprano in the human voice. It's a rich, vibrant sound, which is very lovely.
When did you realize you had this gift for composing music and you had such an interest in music?
Well, my folks started me off on piano lessons when I was 4. Mm-hmm. And in my first piano books, at the end of the scores, there were blank staves, blank pages, in which I began to put down little notes, and I enjoyed the process of writing little notes and thinking about what the sound would be, and I started imitating the pieces that I was performing, which was like Bach and Mozart and Beethoven, and then finally I began to get into my own skin and my own point of view, and it just grew from that.
Well, and we can't go without saying, too, that you're a graduate of Glenville High School.
Oh, yes.
Because I know there are lots of tar-blooders out there that would like to hear that for sure. And I know you would encourage other parents to get their children involved in music, too.
Oh, yes, very much so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it, and good luck to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Good to be